Hey guys, this is Benny. I'm here in Austin, Texas right now. My girlfriend and I are still traveling all over the country in our van. We've been in Austin now for a few days, just exploring the insane number of vegan restaurants, getting to see some old friends, and we've been making new friends too. On this beautiful Sunday, we've decided to come to Zilker Park, which also happens to be a dog park. It's the biggest dog park, I think, in the universe. We thought it would be fun to come here today and do some interviews, ask people some questions about their dogs, about other animals, see what kind of answers we get. Hello, you can't eat that. You're not the first dog to try and eat this today. Do you believe we should have laws that protect animals from harm?
Yes.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
Of course. Yes.
100%.
They're like people. They're just little furry people.
They're just little furry people.
I
You
like
said.
dogs more than people. Yeah. Probably. Oh.
Why is that?
It's a great question, but I think it's because they're a sentient being that should not be harmed, and they're innocent creatures. So,
Do you feel that that applies to all animals or just dogs, domesticated animals?
I feel like it should apply to all animals. I don't necessarily believe that, humans shouldn't eat any animals at all, but I think that we should treat all animals with respect. Yeah, definitely all animals.
yeah, I agree.
All animals. All animals.
All
We're all a part of the earth, and who are we to decide what species is above the other one? We're all here and we all codepend and need each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I eat meat.
I eat meat. Yeah, I'm a meat eater. I totally believe in.
If you can elaborate on that, why is that?
Because again, I think that animals are innocent and sentient beings, and humans obviously are smarter than animals and can kind of do with them as we wish, and they need people to kind of protect them from that.
Sure.
And I think regardless of whether they're domesticated or not, they all have the same kind of brain capacity and capacity for pain and emotion, I think. So.
Yeah.
So do you feel that we are justified in, say, eating a dog or eating a cat in the way you would feel justified eating a cow or a pig?
Definitely not. I haven't really, I don't know, I choose not to kind of think about that, and I choose not to feel that guilt, which I think isn't good of me, but I do eat meat, but I think that that's definitely a line that I wouldn't cross, is eating a domesticated animal, just because of my personal experiences with dogs growing up. I don't think I'd be able to separate that. Yeah.
I think it's for a purpose. Like if you're killing the animal and you're using it for a purpose, and you're using the entire thing, then yes, I totally agree with what people are doing. But I mean, in general, just neglecting any animal or using it for, just sports and just to make fun of, and thinking that we're superior to other species is wrong. Like we're all on Earth and we all have a right to be here.
Yeah.
Like no one's above the other. I mean, animals do feel the same things we feel, and so for us to think that because we can't see or hear what they're feeling doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
come here.
Yeah. So if we were to justify eating meat because we're using the animal in a certain way, would it be fair then to, say, rescue a dog, give that dog a good life, and then bring that dog home and kill it if you intended to eat it?
Oh, dog. I'm not a dog eater, so
Yeah.
to all those dog eaters out there, I'm not cool with that.
Yeah.
Dogs are different.
Hypothetically, if that was something I did and I divulged that to you, would you find any moral issue with that?
Yes.
Why is
Yeah.
that?
I just feel like dogs are they're like almost bred to be companions. They show unconditional love to their humans, and it's just, I don't know, it's so different than.
I mean, again, I feel like I'm kind of contradicting myself here, because I just said that I do think that it's humane to treat an animal that way, but just for me, like currently my moral compass, it's just ingrained in me. I think that killing a dog in any form is not something that I would be personally okay with. It evokes more of an emotional reaction for me than would, say, if you were doing that with a pig.
Yeah. Do you think that the deeper our connection to an animal, the greater obligation we have to not harm that animal?
I could say yes, but I think if you go down that road, that's gonna, like pigs actually are very emotionally intelligent.
Yes.
And a lot of people have never spent time one-on-one with a pig, and you know, and honestly, it kind of freaked me out, like seeing like, you know, like pigs can do like everything like dogs can do, and like listen and so like so I mean, but if you went down that road, then I can see like okay, like we shouldn't kill pigs, and like and I really like bacon, so
Sure.
I don't think
We're superior.
I think I don't
Humans are superior to animals.
I don't
But that doesn't mean.
but I don't
Dogs is different, man.
I mean, I think it's all like a social construct, right? You know, like we're, I think, conditioned to feel like it's okay to like, you know, have other people, you know, it's outside of our realm of view, but like, you know, kill chickens, sheep, cows, and like eat them. It's like very acceptable.
Yes.
So I think just like from day one, it's like not really a question of like eating those animals versus not eating your dog who you've grown up with and is like part of your family. So I think if there was ever to be a shift, it would take a long time because it's like going to be intergenerational, you know? Like that kind of thought doesn't change overnight.
Right.
So
One thing you said a minute ago is you don't feel like something being part of a culture would necessarily make it moral. You brought up cannibalism as an example. Surely throughout history we can maybe think of other examples of that. So for instance, in this country for a long time slavery was not only legal but culturally acceptable. The oppression of women and their rights.
Right.
These things throughout time have been culturally acceptable and even protected by law. Do you feel we can look to culture and law to dictate our morality?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. I think that there is a chance that the way that we view slavery now might be how in 50 or 100 years we view the way that we're currently treating animals and the way that the food industry is working.
I can see that totally being possible.
I think that that's something that we can strive for as a society, and I think that that's something that's very much in the realm of possibility.
Wow.
That'd be delightful.
I try not to eat as much of it because I do think it's morally wrong and it is messed up. But personally, to be honest, I'm just not ready or wanting to be a vegan.
I'll probably never. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it sucks, and I wish it wasn't like that. And so I've lowered my consumption, but it's
Or just try to buy from places that you know are moral, like where the animals are being taken care of before they're killed for food.
Sure.
But I mean, that's all you can really do, I guess.
Sure.
Or be vegan.
I'm sorry?
I said or be vegan.
Do you feel that all animals, we could say dogs or cats, cows, pigs, chickens, deer, etc., do you think that those animals have the capacity to feel happiness and to suffer in the same way as each other?
Absolutely.
I think a lot of animals do for sure. Obviously dogs, cats too.
Yeah.
I think a ton of animals do.
And cows too. Like cows cry over their
I'm not
calves
sure which animals do.
when they're.
Besides like fish. Does that count?
I don't know.
Fish can feel stress. Goldfishes are stressed out and they can die from too much stress.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just the way it's always been. Like, other animals kill other animals and eat them, and then we kill animals and eat them. I don't really know. I mean,
When an animal in the wild eats another animal, why do they do it?
because they need to eat.
Right.
Yeah. they
Do
need
we
to
have
live.
do we have to eat animals to survive?
No, we don't. That's a good point. No,
Yeah.
I mean, protein's definitely good for you, but there's other ways you can get it now.
For sure.
But
Interesting.
I like a good cheeseburger, man.
When you mentioned the humane treatment or wishing for the humane treatment of animals, well, what does that mean to you? What does that look like?
To me, that means quick in the way that you're killing them, at least giving them a good life while they're living and making sure that they're not constantly in pain or they're not just, solely being used to produce the most amount of food possible. I think as long as you're raising them the right way and killing them swiftly and hopefully in a way that they wouldn't feel as much pain, I think that's the most humane way to go about it.
It's easy for our emotional bond to somebody affect the way we feel about what's happening to them. On a moral level, though, emotion aside, do you think that cutting the throat of a dog would be the same as cutting the throat of a pig, cow, a chicken?
No.
What is the differentiating factor?
Logically, there wouldn't be a difference.
It's
but
just
I
straight
think
up
just
emotion
for me,
at this point.
just emotionally because of my connection that
Yeah.
I've had dogs growing up. But I'm at a base level, and logically speaking, it makes no sense for me to answer that question that way because technically speaking, they probably do have the same amount of sentience and emotion and the amount of pain that they feel. But I don't know. I just don't think that that's a line that I'd be willing to cross.
Yeah. Do you suppose that that our removal might in some ways actually be a gift and something to be happy about? Whereas there were times in human history that we were forced to venture out into the wild with weapons and kill for survival.
Right.
And I heard you yourself say that when you're in that position yourself where you're hunting, there's a moment in the killing that you actually don't find enjoyable, that is difficult for you.
Yeah.
So to now live in an age of, let's say, affluence, we have the luxury of choice. We can go to a grocery store or a restaurant and really choose the ways in which we spend our money, what we put into our bodies. So do you suppose that in some ways that removal from the primal, from the hunter-gatherer is a positive thing?
I mean,
not having to kill to survive, essentially.
I mean, it's hard to say that it's not an advantage when, like, I benefit from it all the time, you know, when I go to the grocery store and, like, not, like, beyond meat, but, like, you know, everything's just there, you know, for my picking. It's like free market economy, woo, but I don't know, it's, yeah, when you say it like that, it's like, ooh, you know?
Right.
Like, we are so removed, and it's, like, kind of gross when you think about, like, the fact that we really don't question where a lot of our food comes from, so.
Do you feel that in any way you see your actions being in misalignment with your morals when it concerns animals, animal well-being?
Yeah, for
Definitely.
sure. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And it's something I struggle with, you know, and
I'm a sucker for Shake Shack, and
Yeah.
I don't.
it's not good. And you know, and I would consider myself to be almost like an ultra compassionate person, but I don't associate that when it comes to what I eat typically, which is just horrible, and I like, you know, and I should.
Yeah,
so.
I should take a deeper look at that.
I should.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for your time.
That was amazing. What up? It's your boy, Benny the Vegan. I just want to give a shout. I don't know how to go from one to the other. I want to give a quick shout out to one of my favorite YouTubers, Humane Hancock. Super unappreciated, amazing advocate for the animals, and he was a large inspiration for me coming out here today to do these interviews. Please check out his channel. Love you.